Hello everybody, welcome to the Bronies UK YouTube channel. Today I am one of your hosts and I'm joining you for another discussion. Now I'm talking about My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I'm talking about why it is such a big phenomenon and also sharing my opinion on why I think it's so popular all over the world. And that is literally true. As many of you will be aware, Hasbro actually upload multiple different languages, mainly because it's a multilingual channel now, and that's pretty darn cool. But it shows that how much ground My Little Pony and other shows that Hasbro produce the ground that they're breaking. And quite frankly, we've got there's a Russian version of the show there, which is essentially the show but dubbed into Russian. You've got Brazil, you've got Spain, you've got Italian, you've got Romanian, you've got different European languages like French, German. It is massive. Even Japan have their own version, their own Japanese dub of the show. And it has literally all the voice cast and people behind the scenes. Everybody says it is a phenomenon. They use that word. And I believe that it is a phenomenon because there's nothing quite like My Little Pony. A show like My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is very rare to see and very rare to find. And the thing is, all the Brony fandom come across this show either by accident or was told to check it out by a friend. They're the only two ways. There could be other ways because everyone is different, but for me, I hold that bracket. I have both those two things in my bracket of how I took the show up or started to pick it up and watch it. One, I was just flicking through the channels as you do. And we are in the UK. We have a YouTube channel. We have a kids cartoon channel called Pop, and also Tiny Pop. I know they're both artists of the same thing, but one's for really young kids, and Pop is more for a more young teen demographic. So it was on Pop at the time, and I was just flicking through your channels as you do, and I saw it. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. At the time, I didn't watch it. I knew very little about it. All I knew is it was popular, or getting very popular. So, I just stumbled upon an episode. And the episode in question was a Spike episode. And I think I've spoken about this before in a video, but I'm not too sure. But anyway, so I'll just abbreviate with it now. Pretty much, it's a Spike episode, and it's the episode where Spike is trying to make a cake for Rarity, and he keeps eating the gems. And that is literally where I saw it from. So it's about halfway through the episode. So I watched it right from that point to the end, and I thought, that wasn't too bad actually. That was actually quite funny. So I decided to go back, because they had a Pop +1, which means an hour later. So I checked it out an hour later and I watched the entire episode. So from there, I was just like, that was actually quite fun. And I was just wondering, at the time I didn't know what episode it was, what season it was from. Later, I think I found out it was actually in a second season, either season 2 or season 3 episode. No, but I think season, I don't know. But anyway, so it was an early season episode, and so I then decided upon myself to kind of like check out the first two-parter. So I checked out the first two-parter, and from there it's history. Pretty much from there I just watched it, and then I noticed it was on Netflix. Started watching it all through Netflix. And then I noticed they had Equestria Girl movies, the first two, and I watched those, loved those as well. And then I found out my good friend Sam, who was also a co-host on this channel, he also was a fan, and he had been watching it for a bit longer than me, better part of a year before. And he was pretty much up to scratch. He was up to scratch on the show, but he hadn't seen the Equestria Gal movies yet, so he was just behind on the Equestria Gal stuff. So we then both found out we had a common interest in this series, and then we started kind of watching it between us. Sam was already up to date, so Sam kind of told me where to check it out. So I've checked out all online, and then noticed it was on Netflix. The first 3 seasons was on Netflix. So I watched it on Netflix, and then I found out about the fan base. I saw like YouTubers like AC Race Best, Saber Spark, and people like that. Started watching their videos and getting an idea of the fan base behind it, and I had a sudden attraction to the fan base as well. So, what was it that really engaged me, and why I think everybody else that liked the show also are very engaged, but it's engaged millions of people all around the world. So what is that thing that makes it such a phenomenon to have such a big following, which is quite rare in these days when it comes to a cartoon? Personally, I do think it's down to the boldness and the colourfulness and just the pure how the animation comes over. I personally believe that is the main thing there. Because when you make something look physically beautiful and vibrant and bold, you automatically get people's attention just by that alone. But then you add, it has such a great story element to it as well, character designs, story, structure, character development. There is some pretty good character development within the show, even though there is still a lot yet to be really seen for certain characters, but that is a completely different topic I will bring up on another time. But it has really good structure, it has really good stories, good writing, and it has a great team of people behind it. Also has a great voice cast. You've got Tara Strong, Andrea Libman, and you've got Ashley Ball, and you've got what's her name? God, she's the last who plays Rarity. She's gone out of my head at the moment. But anyway, so you've got a great bunch of people behind the scenes, a great voice talent. You've got Nicole Oliver who plays Princess Celestia, as well as I believe Shirley. I don't know. She plays other characters. Like I said, great voice cast, and that is something that really got me interested as well, because I'm a big fan of Tara Strong, or Tara Strong, whatever you want to pronounce her name, but here in Tara Strong. Yeah, I'm a big fan of her works. I've followed her pretty much. I've grown up pretty much right from when she started her career. The main show I watched where I was more introduced to her as a voice actress was Powerpuff Girls. And also Batman, because she played Batgirl, Catwoman and Batgirl, I believe, in some of the earlier cartoon series of Batman, the animated stuff. So I knew her from that, and then obviously I saw her in Teen Titans as Raven, and she's been in multiple different things that I watched as a really young child, and then right up to now. She's practically been in everything I enjoyed, and I regard her as one of my biggest inspirations, and I think she's fantastic. And also Andrea Libman, she was in a lot of stuff as well. Mainly she played Madeline in Madeline, the cartoon series, and that really was quite a surprise to me. I didn't realise she was in that show. Because obviously at the time when Madeline was airing, I would have been very young at the time for that one. But yeah, so getting back on track a little bit here. So yeah, that's my personal opinion of the reasons why I think it is so popular and such a phenomenon, and why it's universally just become such a big, massive hit. I think it's because the voice direction, the voice acting, the art design, character design, the boldness, how beautifully stunning and vibrant the animation style is. Then you've got, again, a great voice cast, you've got great story, great writing, and all of this just wrapped up within a little, beautiful little bow, and it is just all comes together. And it's very rare to come across a series that has beautiful animation and good storytelling, because usually it's one or the other. You know, you usually have good storytelling and not so good animation, because that isn't really the focal point, it's the story they're trying to get through. Then you've got beautiful animation, not so good story, or next to none. And yeah, there's that problem. But MLP FIM magic is a very, very rare phenomenon, very rare beast in itself, because it has both sides. It has good story and a good structure. It has great merits and a very nice message behind it. And then you've got the animation to go along with that. But also, I think it's just the fan base as well is very intriguing to me. You know, you've got incredibly gifted, talented people, artists, musicians, people that make fan fictions, so on and so forth. It's such a vast, creative network of individuals that have made works based or inspired from the show. Covers of different songs from the show, or their own music inspired from the source, and so on and so forth. And you've got beautiful artists, beautiful drawings and artwork from people as well. And it is unbelievable about, that the fan base that goes with this show is just as unbelievably awesome as the show itself. And this whole thing just started out of nowhere. It started on 4chan, and from there just blew up into a big phenomenon as it is now. It started way back in, this show, MLP FIM Magic, started way back in 2010. And what was interesting about the show is that the first two seasons was more or less watched by the demographic it's based on, or mainly the demographic which is girls, and little girls was mainly watching it to begin with, because obviously that is the demographic audience. That was supposed to be the demographic audience. And then obviously when season 3 had just finished airing, which is at the time when I picked the show up. So in 2013, when season 3 was either starting to air or were just kind of halfway, because season 3 only had 13 episodes. The first 2 seasons had like 20 odd. The reason for that, as many of you will be aware, but in case there is anyone that isn't aware, it was actually finishing. There was only going to be 3 seasons originally, because apparently Hasbro at the time didn't really think it was actually doing as well as they would like. Then all of a sudden this 4chan thing started, and then people started picking it up through word of mouth, and YouTube accounts started around about 2010, 2011, and then the whole Brony thing just went completely massive over YouTube and forums and all sorts of different things. And then it became a big phenomenon mainly between season 2 and season 3. Then all of a sudden there was a big influx of viewership, people watching the episodes, and the airing on the seasons that have already been made and aired just went up. So then Hasbro then decided, right, okay, there's something here. We're going to make a 4th season. They made a 4th season, and that just went through the roof. And then they've just been on one ever since. It's increasing by season by season by season. Then they released the movie, and that introduced the whole thing to a whole new generation of fans, and then it just went on one again. So everything that's introduced that's coming out in the near future, stuff that's already come out, everything that was released just kind of adds to the excitement to many of the people that are in the fandom, and it's unreal. It really quite is unreal. I love the fandom. They are a great bunch of people. And the great charity causes that some people are a part of and set up. Even the voice actors themselves, like Tara Strong and Andrea Libman and so on and so forth, have done charity causes for children that are, in a really bad way in their health. Like maybe they've got a terminal illness, or due to bullying. There's like a bullying campaign as well. Also, a lot of Brony convention, Brony channels and Pegasister channels within the fandom. There's different people with different problems, and even they're being helped by the fandom as a collective. And it's unbelievable of how generous and beautiful the people are within the fandom, and how creative they are, and how just brilliant. It is just a great place to be, and I just hope more people would see that good side and not twist it in a very horrible way like some people do. But anyway, so thank you very much for watching. This is my little discussion on why I think the show is such a big phenomenon. Just showing you and talking about my own personal thoughts as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your continued support. Me and Sam will be back very soon with more stuff. Until next time, stay awesome and brave to you.